All right, people, what the hell is going on? I just got through watching You People on Netflix with Jonah Hill. I think it's Jonah Hill and Eddie Murphy, primarily the stars of that. I was looking forward to watching it. I was like, man, let me get on here and watch it because I saw previews of it. I saw part of a preview of it. I said, oh man, that looks like something I want to watch. You know what I'm saying? Then I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it until I saw another preview for it because for whatever reason at that time, because it wasn't shown at the time I first saw the preview. Matter of fact, I think today or either yesterday or today it just started showing. But anywho, once I actually saw the full preview, I almost did want to watch it. Just how it is. I almost didn't want to watch it when I saw the full preview. I was just like, I was like, this shit gonna be flat. To me, my personal preference in watching TV and shit like that is kind of awkward. I don't like a bunch of black centric stuff. I just don't. Even though I did just binge all of Black Dynamite on on HBO Max, and even I put that on par kind of with that. You know what I'm saying? It's like I watched Black Dynamite. I was gonna do a review. I was just like do an overview of it or whatever the fuck, but I was just like, whatever. And it's a bunch of the same stuff in this little movie here that pissed me off about Black Dynamite with some of the black humor and stereotypes and the tropes and all this other stuff. But I mean, this is mostly about black people, but it's also got some Jewish stuff thrown in there. It's not like generic white going on. But watching the preview, it was just like, man, the part of the preview I kind of watched, I was just, it's gonna be one of those. I actually, earlier tonight, I started watching something else. I was watching a documentary. I went back to watching a documentary that I had no interest in. And then I think that went off, and I was like, fuck it. You people, just watch it. I watched it. It's fucking, like right now, it's like 3:15 or 3:20 in the morning or some shit like that. And so I watched it, and it's okay. It's okay. The parts of the movie kind of hit right on the shit that pisses me off about movies that had anything to do with race and all this other shit. It's just like, oh man, really? This is what y'all gonna do? Every once in a while, there's some shit in there that'll give you a chuckle, but I didn't really much care for it. Like when I was watching a preview earlier, I saw Mike Epps, and I'm not watching this shit. I'm like, if Mike Epps is in it, I'm not watching this shit. I'm one of those, I don't find that dude funny at all. I don't like shit that he in. The only thing that I like that he in is I don't even remember that goddamn movie. It's just the fact that he not funny in that movie. I'm not trying to be funny. It's not a fucking comedy as far as, you know, him being in the movie is concerned. You know what I'm saying? He's not playing a comedic role. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Anything where he did say something here that made me kind of go, ha. But, yeah, that's it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I watched one of his comedy specials. It was that one joke he did. I was like, ha ha ha. That was it. I don't find Mike Epps funny. I just don't. That's neither here nor there. But I watched because he's not really in this movie a whole lot. But going through the movie, you know, you got Jonah Hill. He meets this black chick, and they end up together or whatnot. They kind of fast forward that shit, you know. They actually do the whole dating thing that they go through, until, you know, as like a montage of dates that they go on. A little montage of dates that they go on. So the timeline of this is scrunched together. You know what I'm saying? Because it would be bloop and then bloop. And they got this funky ass font that they use for like the credits and the little subtitles and whatever they put on the screen to let you know that however many months them passed, they use this weird ass, you can't even read the fucking font. It's like some kind of graffiti font or some shit like that. Use a regular ass font. I'm sitting there, some shit pop up on the screen, me and my badass vision. I'm like, okay, some shit popped up on the screen. I know it's supposed to indicate, you know, just by watching the movie, it's supposed to indicate that such and such time went by. I don't know if it was 6 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 months, 6 months. I don't know what the fuck it is. You know, I'm like, goddamn, use a regular ass font. Goodness gracious. You can use that shit in the credits, ain't nobody gonna fucking read. But when you putting shit on the screen that's supposed to, you know, establishing location and time passing and shit like that, nah, man, use a regular ass font. Some motherfuckers can read that shit. So they, you know, they end up getting in a relationship. They don't show no gross sex stuff and no shit like that. They do show that they didn't intimate and no shit like that, but it's just, you know, they went right over that shit. Now that chick that they played, Amira, oh my goodness, where they find this chick at? You don't really get to see much of her until later on, when she in that fucking white dress. Oh my goodness. Oh man. That's kind of shit. That's kind of shit that pissed me off. I'm like, chick fine as hell. I'm just like, god damn. This is, think it's gonna be like some little skinny little. No, she is goddamn. Surprisingly thick, if you know what I'm saying. It's just like, oh man, it's. And I'm kind of glad that they did it like that, because they don't do no big shots of her butt or nothing. You'd have to be looking really close, real small frame of time to try to get a glance of, you can get a glance of her shape, but you don't get to see like the whole, you know, whole 360 or nothing like that. But you see enough of her to know that she goddamn ridiculous Coke bottle up in that goddamn dress. And I think you can't just go straight Megan Good with that. Yeah, it'll start to take away from whatever else it is they trying to do. You know what I'm saying? That chick, if they just like I see Megan Good in some movies, and it's just cat suit, body form, everything. It's just like, you know, you see her some regular clothes, please. I know she fine as fuck, but goddamn, the folks running around with little biker shorts or whatever the fuck they call them all the time. Just like shit. Anywho, yeah, I think if they would have just exploited her sexiness, that would have taken away from the movie. And because she is more than covered up the way that she dresses throughout that thing. I think that was kind of part of the reveal. You get to see her later on. Not that they was playing the ugly duckling thing, but you know, they did, you know, reveal. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm kind of glad they did that, because oh man, that I would have just been looking at that. That's like me going back and looking at Biker Boys, or that it's a Jamie Foxx movie with Megan Good in it, and it's like, shit, I you know, whatever. I don't know. And there's plenty other regular ass women that look a whole lot better than Megan Good. It's just the fact that that's what the fuck they show in that movie. Oh my goodness, Megan Good. Biker Boys. Yeah, but they show them getting together and all this other stuff, and they go through the whole thing where dude figures out that he wants to ask the girl, excuse me, goodness, I just got the weed, and I got a Diet Coke right there, want to marry her. And you know, they go through that whole goddamn thing, you know, where they meet, you know, he took her to his Jewish family, and it's always awkward. That's how the fuck it's supposed to be, you know. And they already had the thing with him and his with Ezra, the white boy, and Amira's parents, the mother. You don't see the mother much. I'm thinking about it. And the mother and the father, Akbar, Eddie Murphy. And this is one of them things, you already know how this shit going in. You know what I'm saying? There's no surprise at the end of this. But they go through that whole thing. And, Ezra's like the white guy, blah, blah, blah. He's into the black culture. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what he is. In spite of what he looks like, that's what he is. Even though, it's just, how you just gravitate to some shit? That's who he is. That's where his interests lie and all this other stuff. But he just happened to meet a black girl that they had shit in common. It just happened. He was out there looking for a black girl. That's just what the fuck happened. He just so happened to be in the black culture. They had shit in common. But, they go through this whole awkward thing where they had the dinner, which is one of the first things that pissed me off was at the dinner where both of the families was there, and then they started getting to this whole Muslim, Jewish back and forth shit. I'm just like, even me watching the movie, I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here. I was literally angry listening to that banter they had going back and forth. Cause I'm thinking, you sit here, you gotta turn off your brain to watch these goddamn movies, and it's like, who the fuck does that? You know what I'm saying? You gonna have two families sitting here. You got a Muslim family sitting there, and you got a fucking Jewish family sitting here, and they just gonna be throwing inappropriate shit back across the goddamn dinner table. There got to be a better way to play that out. You know what I'm saying? Then they had the whole thing where they sitting across the dinner table, and you could see the candles on the dinner table. You know what I'm saying? They had a whole big spread, two candles. They had a candle. I don't know. The candlestick had two branches and candles sticking up and blah blah blah. And it was just like a regular shot, but you could see the candles like in a mirror. Before anybody fuck with the candles. It's just a little shot of the family and they had the candles. I was like, somebody gonna get them candles and set some shit on fire. And then right after that, I don't know what the fuck, why, but somebody was gonna pick up the candles, was gonna move them. Then somebody else, I think it was Ezra and his mom. Instead, they both grabbing and pulling on the fucking candles for some stupid ass reason, and end up setting Eddie Murphy's character Akbar, that little Muslim hat he had, and called it a fucking crown, like fucking hat to me. Set it on, and fuck around and set it on fire, and the whole thing ensues, and they had to stomp the shit out on the ground, all kinds of. It's just. Then the dinner ends, and I'm just like, man, it's like so predictable. It's so predictable. Maybe I just watched too much goddamn TV. You know what I'm saying? I watch too many movies. I watch too much TV to where the setup for certain shit happening. You just be surprised if it didn't. You know what I'm saying? You'd be surprised if it didn't. Now, I'm sitting there watching this shit, and the shit that was going on, then they got the thing where, okay, the black girl is going to spend time with Ezra's mom. Then you got Ezra is gonna spend time with Amira's mom. Dad, Eddie Murphy. I don't know who played Ezra's mom, but anyway, I watching this shit. I kept wanting to say Tina Fey, but I don't think that's Tina Fey. I be wanting to say it. I'm blind as fuck, so I literally will miss faces. It's kind of hard to misplace Jonah Hill face and Eddie Murphy face and mistake them for other people. But, just looking at the screen, I kept, even though I kind of looked at it, I'm like, that's not Tina Fey. My blind ass is still looking at the screen like, that looked like Tina Fey. It wasn't Tina Fey. So they spending time with the opposites parents. And of course, all kind of weird ass shit gonna happen. The only thing of note that happens is on Eddie Murphy, Akbar's side, to where they was driving and he took him to a Crip barbershop, because Ezra had on a red hoodie. So he took him into the fucking barbershop. You sit down like he figured ready to get a haircut. So they sitting down waiting and whatnot. And what's his name? Ezra, sitting there with he had literally some Laker basketball shorts on and a red hoodie. And then some of the dudes in the barbershop start calling, hey, white cuz, why don't you take off that shirt, that hoodie? And then he was like, because they kept calling him white cuz. If you know, that's what fucking Crips call each other, cuz. I got a fucking cuz tattoo right here on my arm. I was young once. But it was like, okay. He was like, yeah, man, I'll take off this fucking, and then Eddie Murphy started digging his head, talking about, yeah, what you gonna do after you take off the jersey? And he started giving them all kind of prison allegories and shit about, yeah, you take off the jersey, and then next thing you know, it's gonna be this and that and blah 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 blah. And then he said something about commissary, then next thing you know, you're gonna be waking up next to him, and that's next. The first thing you see in the morning is going to be his face, they taking your commissary tray and all kinds of shit. And then, Ezra was like, they have commissary here? I'm like, that character is not that dense. He's not that fucking dense. He's just not that fucking dense. They have commissary here. It's just like, come on, dude. I know it sounds, because Ezra has this whole stammering, stuttering, nervous delivery of every goddamn thing, and he lies a lot. He lies for like no apparent reason. Where instead of just saying shit how it goes, he says these little white lies and shit to just try to get by the conversation and shit like that. And there's no consequence to it in the movie. But I'm like, this dude lies a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, he lies a lot. You know what I'm saying? Kind of played off his humor, but I'm like, yeah, he's just lying his ass off right now. Like I say, sometimes it's played off as a joke to where, somebody else know he's just saying some ridiculous shit, but still, I'm like, this dude lies a lot. And then he took him to this basketball court. This is the first time I tear up a lot. This is why I don't like watching relationship movies. I don't like watching race movies. Race movies themselves are just, I don't know. This movie is kind of dated when it comes to that. This movie should have been made many, many years ago. You know what I'm saying? Just going through white, black interactions, because this is not a racist movie. This is a movie about racists interacting with each other. There's a difference. If it was a racist movie, I probably wouldn't have watched it. No, I don't want to deal with that shit. But this is a movie about racists interacting with each other. These Jewish people and these, you got this contrast and them trying to come together or understand or come to some common ground. You know what I'm saying? It's an interaction movie. It's not a racist movie. It's not, it's kind of where you would think that Eddie Murphy's character, Akbar, he the kind of person that always kind of drags shit back towards that, but they never really go there. You know what I'm saying? They never really go there, but Eddie Murphy's character is one of the motherfuckers that always bring up some shit like that. Like, it's at the dinner table, they had this, they said something, and they was going back and forth about slavery and the Holocaust and which one was worse and all kind of other shit. And it's just like, man, get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, who house is they in? Because somebody got to get kicked the fuck out. I don't give a damn who marrying who. Because at the beginning of this movie, I'm like, dude got to he want to get permission because, that's kind of tradition. I am not a traditionalist. I am not asking nobody to marry their goddamn child. If they child want to marry me, we get married. If you don't like it, fuck you. I ain't got to see you. I'm marrying them, not you. You know what I'm saying? That's me. You know what I'm saying? And that's in my head throughout this whole fucking movie. You going through all this shit to get approval from a motherfucker. I'm just like, get the fuck out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? Get the fuck out of here. And if the person you ask to marry you believe in that shit, you gotta go find somebody else, man. Or else you go to somebody, if you gotta go, you're like, look, I'm gonna ask your daughter to marry me. You know what I'm saying? She said I gotta get your permission, but without, either with your permission or not, I'm gonna ask her to marry me. It's up to her to say yes or no. But we have that moment later on. But anyway, he took the part of this movie that the part of this movie that had me tearing up. Because first of all, I'm sleepy as shit. It was 3 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm watching this shit, so my eyes are already constantly watering because I'm supposed to be fucking asleep. And I'm watching the movie, and I'm tired, so my emotional resistance is fucking low as hell because I'm getting triggered all over the place with this fucking movie. But the first thing that got me teared up in that movie, he took her to this basketball because he said something about, like I said, he lies a lot. And he said something about a basketball court he played basketball at. And Eddie Murphy, Akbar was like, you know, I looked up blah, 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 whatever Langston Hughes Park or something he played basketball at. And he was like, I looked it up, but I couldn't find it, blah, blah, blah. But, we got a park over here. And, you play some ball. Go out there and play some ball. And he was just like, instead of just being like, nah, I don't want to play no fucking basketball. You got to go along with it. Like, I don't really want to blah, 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 blah. And so he go down and he was like, man, it's a lot of people out here. He was like, man, nah. He said, hey, yeah, we want to play. Let my boy run with y'all. And they was like, come on. So the little fat white dude run out there. And he like, so he ran out there and he got bowled in the chest. First thing, he come out there and it's like, boom, he go straight to the goddamn ground. And I was like, oh shit, oh man. And then, this Jonah Hill out there playing basketball. So, they got clips and a little montage type basketball thing going on. Because I think Jonah Hill is kind of like Wesley Snipes when it comes to the basketball. It's not their thing. And on TV, you can make it look like they can play, but Wesley Snipes can't play no basketball. He couldn't play no baseball either from what I heard, but, he's a martial artist. He's not like one of those athletes that, traditional basketball, football athlete like you would think black folks are. He's an actual martial artist. He can't play no fucking football or basketball. Well, I don't know about football, because he did play in a football movie too. Yeah, Wesley Snipes played in Wildcats, he played in Major League, and he played in White Men Can't Jump. And I'm going to assume that he wasn't no good at none of those sports. But he's a fucking martial artist. It don't matter if he's good at those sports. He can kick your ass in real life. He one of them motherfuckers that can do his own goddamn stunts, kick your ass in real life. Yeah, so they had Akbar was out there with the phone, when he got bowled in the chest and got knocked on the ground and old shit like that. And dude was running up the court like, you gonna film this? He was like, yeah, we gonna And then he started balling with him. That shit was, that's the part that got it. Cause he put that dude out there thinking that they was gonna dog his ass. And he was out there balling with him. He stole the ball, took it into the hole. Oh man, they showed him going up for a layup, hitting that shit. They showed him in a jumper. They showed him like stealing the ball and running up and shit. And I was like, I was literally laughing, tearing up, looking at that shit. I was like, see, he got your ass. You took him out there thinking he was gonna be a bitch on the court, and he wasn't. I'm just thinking about it now. My eyes are watering like fuck. That shit got me. It did. It did. Because first of all, just the imagery of looking at Jonah Hill out there playing basketball on them big ass black dudes is one thing. But the fact that they showed him out, and if you look at the movie, it ain't no, they're not showing no, extreme basketball shit going on. Like I said, it was like a montage clip type of thing to where you don't really see him playing basketball. You just see him doing some stuff. The best way that they can do it. But the thing is, he was balling with them dudes. And he earned their fucking respect. And Eddie Murphy's character looked about as disappointed as you could fucking He looked about as disappointed as you could look, as trying not to look disappointed. Cause when he took that dude out there to get fucked over, and it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Oh, it still get me. It still get me. Oh, cause it's like one of those things. They showed him shooting the jump. That's how you know that he can't play no basketball. Cause they showed him shooting the jumper. He was like, I was like, yeah, they had to put that together. Jonah Hill don't look like a basketball playing motherfucker. When did they shoot that movie? I thought Jonah Hill had lost some weight. He still look pretty big in that fucking in this movie. I'm thinking it's pretty goddamn recent. I heard something that he had lost a bunch of weight and shit like that. If you look at this movie, it looked like he put on some weight, but that ain't got shit to do with nothing. Maybe because he had this beard thing going on. I don't know. He was pretty covered up the whole goddamn movie, but still. Anyway. And then they go through all that shit, and it's okay. You know what I'm saying? They still going through this little black shit and all this other stuff. The stuff with the girl and the mom, it's less memorable because it's like some shit that you probably won't get, except for when she snatched that wig off. That they had this little black girl get together that the white mom was at, and her ring, they was playing like whatever that shit is where you gotta guess the word or some shit, you know. But she they said something about blah 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 blah, and with the last word was S. And it was something about migrating people at Rome or some shit. And she said, she hopped up and said, is it an N word? She was thinking Navajo. You know, people that migrate, you know, Navajo Indians kind of migrate or whatever the fuck. And but of course she hopped up and was like, is it an N word? And then you had to go through that whole stage thing. Well, I didn't mean the N word, I just says Navajo. But she did some shit where she reached back and she raised her hand up and her ring got caught on a chick wig, and she raised her hand and snatched the goddamn wig off her goddamn head. Oh my goodness. I'm looking at that like, first of all, that wig ain't supposed to just come off your head like that. You know what I'm saying? I've seen some people got some wigs that'll come off their head. If you out there to shit like that, that wig ain't supposed to just come off your head like that. That means she just had one of those little snap-on wigs that just stick on your head just from the elastic or whatever. She didn't have like the whole sew-in shit where you got all your hair braided. Her hair was braided underneath, but it wasn't, she didn't have a sew-in wig. You know what I'm saying? It was, I'm like, that wig wouldn't have came off like that. You know what I'm saying? It just wouldn't. In that environment, those type of people, if she would have had a wig, now, you know, now that I think about it, it could have. I'm just had to think about people that just throw on wigs. I know somebody that's just throwing a goddamn wig. Yeah, okay, yeah. But anyway, she just raised up and snatched that goddamn wig off that chick's head. And then, you know, of course, everybody got mad. Like she did it on purpose. Like she did it on purpose. And they had all that shit, and I kind of forget what went on between them. But the next thing of any goddamn importance is, once they start getting the wedding arrangements and all that shit together and all this other shit, and they had a speech. They had a speech, and of course they had the inverse like they do all the time, where Ezra Akbar, the girls, they got up and made a speech because they had a bachelor party, all kind of shit where they went to Vegas. I think all this shit happened at the bachelorette party with the wig coming off, and the bachelorette party where I think they went to Vegas. They went to a strip club, and Ezra wasn't doing shit, but all his other friends was doing all this other shit, and they kind of found ways to just embarrass him and all this other stuff, just whatever. But he wasn't doing shit out there, and because the dad was out there, and the dad wasn't invited. He just kind of came along on his own. But they had this, you know, Ezra had a talk with the dad, the girl's dad, after the little bachelorette premarital dinner they had, whatever the fuck. And he made like a semi-positive speech, and they got afterwards he came out and he thanked the dad for, you know, for the speech, and he was like, I didn't do it for you, I did it for my daughter. You think I'm gonna get up there and embarrass my daughter in front of all these people? And he broke him down. He broke him down and told him what he really thought about him, which wasn't much. But the thing that got my ears tied up, because I'm thinking about it, I was like, watch. This dude been stammering and stuttering and all kind of shit. He finna give it back to the dad. He not gonna stammer, he not gonna stutter. It's gonna come straight the fuck out. And he did. All the shit that the dad been giving him, he gave it right the fuck back, telling him about himself. All that little uncertainty, nervous stutter, stammering, and trying to think of what you gonna say next. It wasn't none of that. He just, and my eyes teared up again. I was like, yep, there you go. There you go. Because he was right. That girl dad been fucking with him, trying to beat him down the whole time. The whole time since they first met. And he was just taking his shit. He said something about, you know, he told the girl dad, you know, after he told him all that, he said, I learned two things. I forgot what the other thing was. I forgot what the other thing was. And he said, I learned what an asshole is. He was referring to the goddamn dad, and he walked the fuck off. But on the flip side of that, the girl did the same thing to Ezra's mom. And the thing that got me about that is, you know, that girl dad was going after Ezra the whole fucking time. Blam, blam. It was one thing after another. Went out on this man's bachelor party and ruined that. And he wasn't even invited. He just showed up on a fucking airplane because he could. And went out there and, you know, ruined the dude's bachelor party. Now on the other side, the girl, you know, Ezra's fiance, did the same thing to Ezra's mom. Now the thing about it is, if you watch the goddamn movie, nothing Ezra's mom did was on purpose. Now she is, you know, they say that she's an idiot in the movie. You know what I'm saying? She, you know, tone deaf. She's an idiot. You know what I'm saying? But ain't nothing she does is on purpose. But she berated the fuck out of her. I got teary-eyed again because I was like, she didn't deserve that. Amira's dad deserved that shit. Ezra's mom didn't deserve that. That girl sit there and told that woman a whole new asshole for treating her like a doll. And I was sitting there, I'm like, I've been watching this fucking movie. I see where they just had to throw that shit in there because they had to have the inverts going on. But I'm like, that woman didn't deserve that. That woman been nice this whole fucking movie. This whole movie, she's been nice. People be nice and you know, she didn't try to snatch the old woman head off her goddamn wig off her head. They was at this spa. And you know, the spa shit was kind of stupid because it didn't make sense. Somebody, you know, they sitting up in the spa at the counter and another white woman came in and said something and walked right in, and then she was like, you know, I'm sitting here with a black girl and y'all let her in before me and blah blah. That was forced. That didn't make no fucking sense. You know what I'm saying? It's just, if you watch the movie, it don't make no fucking sense. Everything else you can kind of see on the other side. But on this side with the girl and the mom, what the fuck? The girl mom didn't do nothing. Nothing at all. Not to deserve for that girl to chew her new asshole like that. Not at all. That hurt my feelings. It did. It hurt my feelings. I'm sitting there and that woman is sitting there like, well, she's a bit of a moron. You know what I'm saying? She's a bit of a moron, but she's nice. She's well-meaning. You know, Amira's dad is just a fucking asshole, like literally. And after all that shit, they come together, Ezra and Amira, and they so fed up dealing with the other people's parents that they fucking broke up. They fucking broke up. And I'm like, you broke up with her wearing that white goddamn dress? Oh no. No, maybe the next day you catch in some sweatpants or something, or you know, one of them ugly ass gowns with some grandma drawers. You break up with her that night wearing that dress. I don't give a fuck what her dad did. Her in that goddamn dress? Oh no. I'm walking away from that. That's just me. But yeah. And then they stuck some more shit on the screen. I guess 3-6 months in the past. I don't know. You know, it just some time that went by. They showed Ezra out on a date. Not really. He was sitting across from some white chick, and white chick was just talking. You couldn't hear what she was saying, but his mind was somewhere else. And then they had, you know, he had this podcast that he did with this black chick. That's what he wanted to do with his life. He like I say, he's black culture. He did a podcast talking about shit. So they got what happened was Ezra's dad and his brother, Mike Epps' character, I forget his fucking name. He's sitting in the car and Mike Epps' character's like, you did that boy wrong. Basically, he said a bunch of other shit, but he was like, yeah, you did that boy wrong. And your daughter. By doing him wrong, you did her wrong. You know, it's like that. You know, you fucked over that boy. And he didn't deserve none of it. The only thing he did was love your daughter. That was it. So that shit started to sink into him while they were driving in the car because he was listening to the dude's podcast on the radio. Why would you? Well, I guess if you digging in on that boy that much, you want to get your information from somewhere. So I mean, if they got a broadcast that you can hear over the air, you probably listen to it. So he was listening to it, him and his brother in the car. And then his brother was like, you know, and the brother like a scumbag. So, you know, if a scumbag motherfucker tell you did some shit wrong, you know what I'm saying? It's like shit. And I'm pretty sure some of the same thing went on. But, of course, in the background, because, you know, the movie just ain't going to just go off like that. You know, the mom and the dad got together and kind of staged this meetup between them. They went to this shoe place. What's his name? Dad took her to the shoe place, and you don't see that till later. You just see Ezra's mom and Ezra walking up into the little shoe place to get some shoes, and then you see Amira walking up the way, and Ezra wants to just walk the other way and not see her. And her mom, you know, the mom was like, hey, blah, 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 blah. They end up talking and shit. And then the dad shows up. Then they figure out, okay, this is just, you know, they did this shit on purpose to get them two together and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, they went to talking and they reconciliated. Reconsolidated? Yeah, I think we need a reconsolidation. No, reconciliated. Just to put things short, everybody apologized. The parents and shit apologized to the opposite, you know, to the counterpart. Not the counterpart. You know, well, the dad apologized to Ezra and the mom apologized to the, which was fucking not needed. I'm gonna stand by the fuck that. That girl, she apologized for what the girl said. Now I was hoping that they was gonna word that shit the way it was like I'm sorry. Well, it was kind of worded like that, cause she did say, I'm sorry for if what I did offended you. It ain't like on the other side where he just straight up fucked that dude over and tried to get him fucked over. It's just that, you know, her ignorance led her to do some shit that, you know, black folks might find offensive if they on TV. Because that's the only time you will find anything that woman did offensive. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I said, this movie would have had to been made many years ago. The premise of this movie is not for now. 2023. It is not. I don't know how many years decades you gotta go back to where this movie is fucking relevant. I don't. Maybe the 90s? This is like a 90s movie. It really is. Because a lot of the music that they play in this movie is, you know. I mean, if you look at the cars and shit people driving, you know it's not set in the fucking 90s. But, I mean, if you just go back to fucking, what's that? The music that they was playing, this movie probably should have been set in the 90s with this kind of race relations things, racial interaction shit going on. Because in today's, it's not an issue with racial interaction. God damn it, my words. It's not. We have a problem with racism, but not racial interaction. It seems odd to say, but yeah, you're not gonna be uncomfortable around somebody from another race. Just not. Everybody you talk to them like you talk to anybody else. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna try to be over accommodating or no shit like that. You shouldn't be. If you are, shame on you. You're not gonna be over accommodating and no shit like that. You're gonna treat them like you treat anybody else. That's what the fuck you supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? That's what the fuck you supposed to do. Like if you're a white person, you meet some black person, and it's like you ain't never seen a black person before, so you trying to think of everything you know that in your mind that might come up about black people, and you try to, you know, you try to put that out to make them comfortable. When you first met the goddamn white girl mom, Ezra's mom, the black girl, they was at the Ezra's mom's house, and it's like she started bringing up all kind of police brutality shit and stuff like that. No, that's not what black people sit around and talk about. No, well, actually some, but in general, no, it's not a point of casual conversation. You just talk about whatever it is you talk about. Jewish stuff, whatever that is, if that's what you talk about around your house, that's what the fuck you talk about. You know, in hospitality, you want to be accommodating, but goddamn, you don't want to just, you know, but you kind of play it over the top in these type of movies because, you play it for the laughs and all kind of other shit, and it's just, But anyway, they get together, they outside on the sidewalk, the shoe shine place, the shoe store, and I don't know if they had a cut or nothing, but they end up, they say, we got something for y'all we think you're gonna like. And I don't know if they walked somewhere and they went inside this opened the door in this building, and it's a whole big giant setup of all these people and a whole freaky deaky wedding, like some psychedelic ass wedding just set up for them. You know what I'm saying? All the people is there, all that shit. I'm like, what if the fuck they didn't want to go? I mean, it's just like they just open its doors and the whole goddamn thing is just set up ready to go. The priest, the fucking, everybody's in there. Music, all this shit is going. What if they didn't want to get married? What if they decided to wait? You know what I'm saying? He said, because they literally had been apart like 3 months. I'm gonna say 3 months. It could have been 6. Like I said, he's that funky ass fun. You can't read the shit. You just know there was a passage of time in a certain amount of months. But they had been separated. They had even talked to each other in 3 months. That time on the sidewalk right there, that was the first time they had seen or talked to each other. You know what I'm saying? They had already showed that Ezra had already started meeting other people. But they meet right there on the sidewalk. They open some little door, and the whole wedding is just right the fuck there. I'm like, really? Y'all not gonna have like another passage of time? It's like right now, y'all got all those people together and set up all that shit for right now. Just at this time, just right now, just boop, right then. What if it's just like what if, motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? What if they didn't have no time to reconciliate or nothing? They just right there, bam, open the doors. There's a fucking just giant wedding just happened to be right here on our left, just ready for y'all. I kind of thought that they was gonna open up the doors and be at like some courthouse or some shit where they can get married. I literally did. I thought they was gonna be at like this little courthouse and they could just go and get married since, you know, apparently they probably already took care of all the paperwork and all that other shit. And they just go, have a little ceremony, get married without all the drama of the family. And nope, they open up this fucking door and it's this big psychedelic ass wedding just right then and there. Yes. Yes, that was it. And like I said, the movie worked its way up from I don't want to see it, no, from oh man, I want to check that out, to I don't really want to see this shit, to oh man, goddamn, he would go with this old shit right here, to okay, this is all right. You know what I'm saying? This is okay. What, boy? What? I don't know, man. But yeah, I was like, it's okay. It's okay. Because like halfway through the movie, I was thinking about shooting this video. I was like, this is going to be a dookie ass video. And of course, that was before I saw in that white dress. That white dress changed everything, baby. Woo! Woo! White dress. Need me a white dress like that. Not for me to wear, but for me to put on motherfuckers when they walk in the house. Like, here, you wear this white dress. I'm going to imagine you somebody right quick. But anyway, that's it. It's okay. I liked it. You know what I'm saying? It made me tear up a couple times. Because if I'm paying attention to the movie, I'm an empathetic person. So if I'm watching some movie and a motherfucker get mad in the movie, I'm probably gonna get mad while I'm watching the movie. Motherfuckers start crying and boo-hooing in the fucking movie or some shit like that, my eyes probably gonna tear up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't like watching certain. Don't get me watching no fucking race movies and no shit like that. No. No, you not finna have me walking out my house mad at people I don't know. You know what I'm saying? No, fuck no. I watched a documentary the other day. It was something about some web internet shit on Netflix. And they was talking about some other sexting and sextortion and all kind of other shit before they started going into some cases that had something to do with fucking white supremacy and all kind of other shit online. And oh man, made me aware of a few new white supremacist groups that I had no idea existed. I'm like, I need to start watching more of this shit right here because I didn't even know these motherfuckers existed. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, shit. There's more shit I need to be aware of. It's kind of shit the hell you sitting in the house loading your goddamn guns and shit just in case motherfuckers want to show up and act goddamn fool. I'm like, man, goddamn, you got these motherfuckers out here? Ooh, it's a lot. It's a lot. It is. But anyway, if you watched all this shit, I will put spoilers in the title or whatnot. But if you watched this shit, I hope you liked it. I don't know whose movie this was. I don't know. Since Eddie Murphy was in it, I'm just gonna jump out on a limb and say it was one of his movies, even though he's not the main character. I think Jonah Hill is big enough to where he can do his own movies too. So it could be either one, or it could be a joint venture. But you know, I like when I see these guys get out and do shit. So you know, I still haven't seen fucking Coming to America 2. I don't know what the fuck is showing on. I'm gonna have to look it up. Coming to America 2. Which fucking system is it on? Which streaming service is it on? Because I have no idea. I haven't seen it. I've heard good things and bad things, and it's one thing you have to watch the shit for yourself. You do. You have to watch it like this right here. I have to watch it for myself. Some people are like, yeah, I liked it. It was good. And I start watching it. I'm starting to see, okay, a lot of black stuff going on in this movie. A lot of stuff that I don't relate to a lot of black stuff. I don't. I live in the hood. I do. I live in Fifth Ward, Texas, Houston, Fifth Ward. I'm in the ghetto, the innerest of inner city. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not big on the culture. Like, I don't hang out in the ghetto and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So when I see stuff and hear stuff on TV, the stereotypical black that you hear, the slang, the talk, and all this. That shit irritates the fuck out of me. You know why? Because I don't hear that. I'm in my house all the time, and when I do leave the house, I get the fuck away. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get to hear all that shit. So anytime, and I'm just talking about the South where I'm at. I don't even get to fucking the East or the West Coast to where they got their own little slang, and I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. What the fuck you just say to me? I'm like, I'm from the South, and I know I sound funny when I talk to other people. But if we gonna have some dialogue going on, I'm gonna need you to act like you talking regular ass English. And I'm gonna have to do the same, because I already know I can talk and fuck some people up. Especially if I get going. I be throwing in anecdotes and all kind of metaphors and shit. You won't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I've had it happen. Motherfuckers can't follow the conversation. I'm just like, man, look, we can't talk. And it came from a motherfucker. It was a white chick from Boston. You know what I'm saying? It's a white chick from Boston. She couldn't understand shit come out my motherfucking mouth. I'm like, I don't know how. Your best friend's a motherfucker from New Orleans. If you can understand that motherfucker, you should be able to understand me. Because I know goddamn well, I done heard some motherfuckers from New Orleans talking. I'm just like, you know what, motherfucker, I ain't heard nothing. Well, matter of fact, I heard everything, but I didn't understand shit. The fuck you just said to me, huh? I'm like, out of here, man. Yeah, so, I mean, it's a bunch of that stuff. It just don't, like the music and shit like that. Now, the music was familiar to me, except for the Jay-Z shit they was playing. The fact that I knew it was Jay-Z kind of disrupts that whole train of thought. But I listened to enough, or I've listened to some Jay-Z. It was one of those records way back in the day. I don't know if it was Blueprint or some shit. I had a cassette. I'll show you how long ago that was. I had a cassette tape, and I used to listen to that motherfucker on repeat. Nothing after that, though. Nothing after that. And like I said, I was on cassette tape, so that shows you how long ago that was. But they had, other than that shit, and like I said, that song that they was playing, it sounded familiar to me, to where I'm like, that sound like Jay-Z. But I can't tell you how old it was. It damn shit didn't sound like nothing recent. But the rest of the music they played, they had some Too Short in there, like old Too Short, and fucking MC8 and shit. I listened to the fuck out of some MC8. Man, look at that. Other than Bone Thugs, MC8 might be my most listened to rap artist. Man, that was like 2 albums. I had 3. Death Threats, Thugging It Up, and the other one, the first one, the one that they got the picture of them down on the car. That's the one with the song with Scarface and shit on it. I can't remember the name of that. Music to Drive By. That just popped out my fucking mouth. I didn't even try to remember that. That just popped out my mouth. Music to Drive By. It's funny how our brains work. I wanted to remember it, but I didn't try to remember it, and it just popped the fuck out. Music to Drive By. That don't sound like some shit that I would remember as far as an album name. But yeah, that, Thugging It Up. Shut up. Or was it straight Thugging It Up? Whatever. And Death Threats. Them 3 albums. Thugging It Up and Death Threats was what I listened to the most, because I think I only like 2 songs off that Music to Drive By album. But yeah. That make me, now I want to go download some MC8, because I don't have those records no more. We got the internet, so I can get that shit for a little nothing. What are you doing, cat? Well, fucking get somewhere and sit your ass still. I'll go outside. You keep making that noise, ain't nothing in here for you to fuck, boy. Yeah. There's nothing in here for you to fuck. You ought to be on. They can't be making that noise a lot longer than he should. Ain't nothing in here but ain't no other cats in here but his mama and his niece. And ain't now one of them got no interest in him. You ain't finna fuck your mama and you ain't finna fuck your niece. At least not if I'm around. I'm gonna lock him outside anyway. Yeah, but the music was a good throwback that I like. They probably played some other music that's just what stuck out to me. Any other music was just probably some shit that I didn't listen to. But I know that the shit that popped out was the shit that just hit me right like that. And a bunch of that West Coast shit from way back then, because the shit is shot in Los Angeles, is what's gonna hit me. Bunch of East Coast stuff, probably the fuck not. It's just not. It would have to be like an extra super popular ass song for me to recognize it, like that Jay-Z song that I recognized that was Jay-Z, because they had a whole bit in the car of trying to. They was like, well, what's the name of this song? He was kind of grilling them on the black culture. He was like, well, what's the name of this song? I can't remember the name of this song. And they just kept going back and forth, fucking misnaming the fucking, I don't even know the name. I thought they was going to say it because I wanted to know. After a while, I'm like, well, shit, now I don't know the name of the fucking song. I'm not finna look at the credits to figure it out, but shit, man. You know, I ain't on no big ass Jay-Z kick right now, so I don't know what his music is like now. I don't listen to that shit. Listen to hardly no music. I don't. If I do, it's some old shit. Go back and listen to some old ass shit. Like I go listen to MC8. Like when if I put on my Pandora, it's gonna kind of sound like this soundtrack. It'll be some Too Short. It'll be some NWA and some MC8. You know, shit like that. Not no West Side Connection or shit like that. You might hear some Ice Cube, but I don't have Ice Cube in particular on there. No, he was pretty successful on this solo. He really do his solo shit. That's about it. Everything else like some down south shit, and you might hear some Biggie or something, and that's not even on purpose. It's just the Biggie that I hear is stuff that Biggie did with like Bone Thugs, or if they did some another artist did like a sample of Biggie or something like that. I'm not a real big East Coast rap guy. I can't help it. It's just how it is. But anyway, I'm gonna cut this off because I gotta go to the bathroom. You that cat? I gotta go to the bathroom. I don't want you in there. And I will catch you guys on the next video. Now, where's the goddamn button on here? There you go.